In our news bulletin for this evening, the tax office starts taxing village councillors at the end of June quarter. Waiā Farm undergoes uplift and rebranding for bottled water and nonu. The Niue RSA continues with an appeal to the Niuean community in New Zealand and on island towards pending centenary commemorations in October. Whole of Team Niue are now at the Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea, competing but yet to receive a medal. The tax office has now started taxing village councillors as of the last quarter ending in June. According to the Ministry of Social Services, an incentive by government in 2014 saw an increase in annual village grants of $10,000 each, and in addition, it was approved that village councillors be paid an honorarium amount of $2,000 each year, which they are paid on a quarterly basis, $500. According to the tax division, this is considered a service and therefore it is taxable income. The only exemptions are for superannuation, the elderly folks pension and child allowances. However, this has caused some confusion for a few who have been affected that this was only just taxed for the last payment. Tax division officials say that this is not only focused on village councillors, but will also include those who provide services as members on statutory boards, and this will go towards collecting revenue for government. Waiā Farm is now venturing out to include bottled water as one of its new products. The farm has gone through a number of changes in the past few months with a projected uplift and rebranding. The farm currently employs 18 staff that process the nonu juice, and now the factory is set up to bottle water. According to team leader for government's state-owned enterprises group, Wayne Harris-Dorr, the new branding, Niue Secret, is focused on promoting Niue products.
And what we wanted to do is align something that actually gave the promotion of Niue. So when we're thinking about the new brand, the old brand was Pure Pacifica, which had no relation to Niue. We wanted something that was Niuean and something that would be something people would take away. And when they're overseas, they say, where did you get that from? And it clearly says Niue. So Niue Secret was a board decision. It was driven by the chairman. The only difference, as you'll see in our bottles, is we're now going to run with Niue Secret with all the products we produce, and we're going to get into that and produce other products once we get these two launched and firmly in the market. Well, what happened with the water was, back in January, I took some water back to Hills Laboratories in New Zealand to have tested from the Waiā bore, and it came back absolutely clean, squeaky clean, and in fact the guys at Hills said had this been pasteurised, the quality was so good. They then gave us some indications of what we should do to improve it, because it was a wee bit hard, so we bought in a commercial filter and also UV treated, which then brings it up to international standards, which will allow us to export it if we want to. Well, at the moment, the water we're bottling is at the moment looking like around about 2,000 litres of water a month. That's less than a household would consume in 1 month. So we're not talking about huge draw, because when you think about it, we're bottling it, and that's if we bottle 1 litre bottles. We're also bringing out 300 ml bottles, we're bringing out 500 litre bottles, so effectively the water draw would probably won't exceed maybe 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000 litres a month, and that will be producing us around about 8,000 to 9,000 bottles if we get up to that level.
Wayne says local sales have proven quite successful, with over 1,000 bottles of water sold so far and about 100 bottles of nonu in the past week at local stores and accommodation providers like Scenic Matawai. In addition, the farm has 12,000 litres of nonu ready for shipment, destined for Japan. With the developments happening at the farm, there have been minor challenges, but these are matters that the team have managed to work through.
Well, the main challenge, I think we've just got to get more focused, and that's why I guess the board has brought me back after being many years away from the island. We have to get, we're being outsold with noni by our neighbouring Pacific Islands, and so our noni is recognised as being some of the best. It's organic, we're certified, and so what we have to do as a company is get market presence. At the moment we're selling to Japan and Korea. I'm hopeful by the end of this financial year, which is finishes June next year, that will have a broader market base and will be selling probably 2 or 3 times more than we're selling currently. Well, so far we've had huge support. I mean, I've got to thank the private sector retail businesses and the accommodation, places like the Matavai. Everyone seems to be really keen to stock this product because it's a souvenir of Niue. When tourists go into the store, they see Niue water, then they take it away, and no doubt they'll take it home, and because the labelling's so good, they'll take it home and probably show off and say they've been to Niue. The other thing is to use the water as a vehicle to also promote our noni. So all the stores that have taken it, and I thank them, are also stocking our noni. So we're starting to get good traction, especially in our lofi. There's been a lot of change in the last couple of months, positive changes, and we're out here to position this company as one of the number one exporters for Niue.
A public open day has been scheduled for this coming Saturday, where the farm will open up its operations for people to have a look around at the farm and factory. This will also be an opportunity to interact with staff and see the newer products where nonu and bottled water will also be sold at wholesale prices. Niue's Returned Servicemen's Association have returned after successful talks with families in New Zealand in an appeal for financial assistance. The island is preparing for the centenary commemorations for the Niuean soldiers that departed for World War I in 1915, and funds raised will go towards a memorial cenotaph. A radio appeal was held on island last month prior to their trip, where they raised just over $1,000. RSA patron Auku Sopavi said that his trip to New Zealand alongside the RSA President Charlie Tovaka was to formally explain what preparations were for the commemorations that will be held on the 13th of October this year. The plaque will cost approximately $7,000, and so far they've raised $1,900. Akoso says that after discussions in New Zealand, there were many people who had indicated interest, and the organisation have also given the Kiwi bank account details. At the moment, the committee have not quite reached the amounts. The RSA will be holding another radio appeal for public donations that will be on Radio Sunshine tomorrow morning starting at 9:30 onwards, with the hope that they will be able to boost the ability to have a special plaque to mark centenary. All donations towards this memorial plaque will close at the end of this month. Niue is represented in the Pacific Games in weightlifting, powerlifting, lawn bowls, bodybuilding, shooting, golf and athletics. The Games started over the weekend, and so far only the weightlifting team have completed their events. 3 weightlifting athletes travelled to PNG. Moses Motama lifted in the men's 105 kilogram plus category with a total weight of 223 kilograms, and he was ranked 11th overall in his category. Malia Val lifting in the women's 75 kilogram category. She lifted a total of 135 kilograms and was ranked 7th place in her category. For Motoria Tano lifting in the 75 plus category, she was ranked 13th overall with a total weight of 91 kilograms. The other athletes will be competing in their events later in the week, but athletics and bodybuilding will be competing next week on Monday. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Do enjoy the weekend ahead, and we will see you again on our next news bulletin on Tuesday.